Hello. So, for this assignment 2, my title is Life Events Within Loneliness and Young Adults, written by me, Allison. For question number 2, it is my introduction and research question. My research question is how can significant life events impact young adults with the outcome of loneliness? The population consists of young adults between the ages of 18 to 27 of various ethnicities who have recently or previously experienced an important life event or a transition. I want to specify that there is no time limit to demonstrate the future coping skills after encountering such events and isolation. So, the importance of this research question and the whole reason I'm doing it is that this topic in question can help understand the effects of how transitions/life events can trigger loneliness. The issue negatively impacts young adults in multiple ways, and by having this topic, it can help the harmful that's wrong. It can help understand the harmful effects of loneliness and maybe prevent them as well. So, for the next question of the hypothesis, variables, and methods. So, the first hypothesis is that life events and transitions give no effect towards a young person and rarely provides loneliness. I did want to mention that even though this is titled as hypothesis number 1, it is not my main one. It is just, the the different one. So the null hypothesis is that life events do not correlate with young adults isolating themselves. And the alternative hypothesis is findings showcase that after a major life event/transition, loneliness has a significant relationship with young adults. For the independent variable, we use the Dijon-Giervold loneliness scale, and the dependent variable is loneliness in young adults. For the second hypothesis, which is my main focal point, it is how can significant life events impact young adults with the outcome of loneliness? The null hypothesis is the same as life events do not correlate with young adults isolating themselves, and the alternative hypothesis being findings showcase after a major life event or transition, there is no impact of loneliness within young adults. The independent variable would be my own question/my own measures of my interview, and the dependent variable is loneliness in young adults. So, for the validity and reliability of both these hypotheses, hypothesis 1 uses construct validity as it established by testing whether the scores of the instrument are related to other measures of different constructs in magnitude and direction as anticipated in the theory. When looking online, I saw a million of the loneliness scale being used within this type of validity, specifically construct. Saw a million different sources saying that. So, yes. As same thing with the reliability. As looking it up, this was a very widely used scale within this type of validity, and so yeah, hypothesis 2. The validity I use for my own measures, it is content or face validity as the degree to which an instrument or scale covers the range of meanings within the concept being measured. It's a judgmental process utilizing colleagues or experts. For this one, I definitely tried to, when seeing the interview, you will understand I tried to understand directly of what this person was feeling. I'm not just really skimming it over to answer the questions of trying to find the true coverage like of the range of the meetings type of thing. For the reliability, I find this reliable in my own measure because it's coming from a physical source that was recorded for the research. And yes, there's not many of them. There's only one pilot test interview. I still find it reliable as it was an actual interview that occurred and it was recorded for the sake of this research. For the sampling and data collection, I have chosen two things to do. They're kind of the same. First one is I survey around college through email, forums, newsletters, put up a QR code or a link for people to scan and to view this that way, as it is kind of indirect. But I would also do it through physical interviews, basic ones, either scheduled or impromptu, kind of on the street ones. Also around colleges or popular places that attract young adults. This is called convenience sampling. It's accidental, haphazard, or convenience. It's any method of using volunteers, includes person on the street interviews, like I said before, college students, and client volunteers. For measurement testing, the candidate was a white female, 24 years old, currently in college. It was an in-person interview. I asked them questions about their life dance transitions, about loneliness, their effects, and or symptoms. So this was just a general kind of the niche questions that I did ask with the results that were given. I only did a couple questions as I try to be distinct and concise. I did leave out all of the "Hi, how are you?" like rapport type of questions, as I felt that it was better to focus on the data collection in part of the interview instead of the, you know, rapport type things. Anyways, so for the first question, I asked, have you experienced a transition or significant event that is notable in your life? And the person said, yes, I have. I lost my job and I haven't been able to get a new one yet. Next question was, from this recent job loss, which was the life event, has it been isolating? The participant said, yes, it has. Without a job, I haven't been able to go out with my friends or family or even do anything with them since I am now living off my savings and have no money to spend. Third question I asked was, has your life been affected in any other ways since the transition? The participant emphasized on how their food budget had been reduced, as they're not making any of the meals they're used to and having to buy the lesser type of food options like the dollar store ramen. And to be more concise, I insisted on asking, other than isolating, can you explain how this event is affecting your mental status? And they were very clear and concise about how they felt defeated. They wanted to do more, but with their position within college, they're unable to. They're very distressed about how they're going to pay for things, especially their loans, and the feeling of hopelessness really keeps them up at night sometimes as well. So, for the discussion of results, I found that when going through the interview, there was more of a shift in wanting to know the details of what the participant felt and went in the direction of trying to understand what those feelings were. Like I said before, I wanted to be more clear and concise about, instead of how this participant was feeling, but of more what they were feeling. And I did not expect the participant to say that the transition would be a job loss. I know that's really weird to say, but it's something that you don't expect to be as significant until you actually hear their experience with it. And I wasn't as aware as I should have been that something like that experience could be isolating. It could be devastating. And with your college, it really does, make you rethink about all aspects of what you have to do. But in reality, I am glad to have these results, even though they were unexpected. It was the answers I was hoping to hear for the sake of this pilot interview, which I know sounds bad, but it goes in the direction of the hypothesis, which is, type of data you are looking to hear about when wanting to go into the direction of your main hypothesis of with your measure and your variables and all that jazz. And with that, I thank you very much for listening to my presentation. I did have a hard time with it, so I hope that I succeeded in this, especially with the viability and the reliability and all that. But anyways, thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I hope you have a great day.